10 interesting trivia and facts about Antarctica. First, there are places in Antarctica which haven't received rain or snow in 2 million years. In Antarctica, around 1% of the continent, 4,000 kilometers or 2,500 miles, is permanently ice-free. Such areas are called dry valleys or Antarctic oases. They are thought to be the world's harshest deserts, and it is estimated that these areas haven't seen rain or snow in almost 2 million years. According to one study led by Australian scientists, due to climate change, ice-free areas in Antarctica could expand up to 25% by the end of 21st century. This could drastically change the biodiversity of the continent. Second, there is a waterfall in Antarctica which is called Blood Falls. Don't worry, no real blood is running there. 5 million years ago, as sea levels rose, East Antarctica was flooded and a brine lake was formed there. After millions of years, glaciers formed on top of the lake. As they froze, the water below became even saltier. Today, the subglacial lake under Blood Falls is 3 times saltier than seawater and, therefore, is too salty to freeze. The water beneath Taylor Glacier, which feeds the Blood Fall, contains a lot of iron picked up from the underlying bedrock, and when iron-rich water comes in contact with air, the iron oxidizes and takes on a red coloring, leaving blood-like stains on the ice. Third, more meteorites are found in Antarctica than anywhere else in the world. According to scientists, meteorites land everywhere with almost equal probability. However, if they fell in a humid jungle climate, moisture and oxygen would corrode them. In Antarctica, where the climate is extremely dry, the likelihood of corrosion is almost non-existent. In addition to this, naturally, the rocks are easier to spot on the white, icy surface of Antarctica. Lastly, sometimes the East Antarctic ice sheet's path to the sea is clogged by mountains or other obstructions. If the sheet stays in one spot for a long time, strong winds and sunlight can evaporate the top layers and reveal much older ice and large meteorite concentrations within it. This way, more than 20,000 samples of rock from unknown sources were collected since 1976. Fourth, 70% of world's fresh water is in Antarctica. Around 90% of the world's ice and 70% of the fresh water is in Antarctica. If all of the Antarctic ice melted, sea levels in the world would rise about 200 feet or 61 meters. Fifth, the average ice sheet thickness in Antarctica is 1 mile. Antarctica, the southernmost continent, is almost completely covered in a thick layer of ice, except for dry valleys, which make up around 1% of the area. The thickness of the ice sheet varies depending on the location, with the East Antarctic sheet being much thicker than the one in the west. On average, the ice is more than 1 mile or 1.6 kilometers thick, but in some sections it can get as thick as almost 3 miles or 4.8 kilometers. Sixth, Antarctica has no official time zone. As Antarctica is mostly uninhabited, the continent is not officially divided into time zones. However, a number of existing research stations use either the time zone of the country that operates or supplies them, or use the local time of countries located nearby. For example, McMurdo Station observes New Zealand Standard Time (NZST) during Standard Time and New Zealand Daylight Time (NZDT) during the Daylight Saving Time (DST) period in New Zealand. Palmer Station, an American research station, keeps Chile Summer Time (CLST) as Chile is the closest country to their station. 7. The largest recorded iceberg was bigger than the whole island of Jamaica. The world's largest recorded iceberg was iceberg B-15, which measured around 183 miles or 295 kilometers long and 23 miles or 37 kilometers wide, with a surface area of 4,200 square miles or 11,000 square kilometers, making it larger than the whole island of Jamaica. In 2000, the iceberg B-15 broke up into smaller icebergs and later drifted away into the sea. 8. The world's oldest sperm was found in Antarctica. Back in 2015, scientists from Sweden found a 50-million-year-old fossilized clitolate worm cocoon in Antarctica, which contained the world's oldest sperm. The sperm of this worm is very short-lived and extremely hard to find. However, because it became trapped in the jelly-like cocoon before it hardened, it was preserved for millions of years. 9th. There are 2 civilian towns in Antarctica. The larger town out of 2 that exist in Antarctica is Villa Las Estrellas, the Stars town, founded in 1984 by Pinochet, who wanted to reaffirm Chile's presence in the region. Today, this town is a research station and has a school, hospital, hostel, post office, internet and even TV and mobile phone coverage. The other town is called Esperanza Base and serves as an Argentine research station. It houses 55 inhabitants in winter, including 10 families and 2 school teachers. The town was established in 1953. It became widely known in 1978 due to the birth of Emilio Marcos Palma, the first person to be born in Antarctica. 10th. Antarctica, the Arctic and some other remote islands are the only places in the world not colonized by ants. Just about every piece of land on Earth harbors at least one native or invasive ant species. However, Antarctica, the Arctic and a handful of remote or inhospitable islands are the only places on Earth which are not colonized by ants. Hoping you enjoyed this video. God bless.